What's up guys, this is Ray. Today we'll be talking about the 1980 Japanese movie Kagemusha, directed by Kurosawa Akira and starring Nakadai Tatsuya. And this movie review is actually a request from one of my patrons over at Patreon, Johnny Picaranta. He actually requested this back in December, so as you can tell, I'm still making my way through Patreon requests, so bear with me as I pump them out because I gotta catch up. Before we dive into this review, if any of you guys are new to Eiga-Man Ray, I upload movie reviews and discussions of Japanese films every chance I get. So if you're new to my channel and you dig the content, it would really help if you guys, check out other videos that are featured on the channel and of course, subscribe. So back to the review. Kagemusha. Well, first of all, let's talk about the name Kagemusha. What is a Kagemusha? A Kagemusha is basically a body double of sorts, a stand-in. And they're used in many types of situations, and they're usually for like very important people. In this case, it would be a daimyo or a feudal lord in the story. And what they essentially do, they stand in for the person in question as a stand-in. While for example, the person in question might be hiding away because of an injury, or might be hiding because of an assassination attempt. Either way, the purpose of the Kagemusha is to trick the public into thinking that the person in question is alive and well. So the story of this movie, it's about, as you guys could tell, Kagemusha, and it's actually Nakadai Tatsuya in a dual role as both the titular character and also the daimyo he's standing in for, Takeda Shingen. And the characters in the story are based off of real historical figures. Takeda Shingen was indeed a daimyo during the feudal states period, and you get to see a lot of characters pop up from that era, including Oda Nobunaga and Tokugawa Ieyasu. But when we first meet the Kagemusha, he starts out as this petty thief who's about to be crucified, but he's spared by Takeda Shingen and is basically hired to become his Kagemusha. And then sometime later, Takeda Shingen gets shot by a sniper. But ever since the death of the daimyo, he takes it upon himself to impersonate or to stand in for Takeda Shingen full time. So why did they decide to do this? Why did they decide to have the Kagemusha impersonate Takeda Shingen full time? It's because it kind of relates to a dying request from Takeda Shingen himself. Takeda Shingen had requested that no one be informed of his death for at least 3 years, neither friend nor enemy. And the Kagemusha just takes it upon himself because he feels like he owes a lot to Takeda Shingen for rescuing him. And this starts a series of events in which the Kagemusha is being trained on how to be Takeda Shingen full time, not only learning his mannerisms, but also his philosophies, the way he goes about and interacts with people, and especially certain types of people, the relationship he had with other people in his clan, and also convincing enemies and spies that Takeda Shingen is still alive and well. So when it comes to the positives of Kagemusha, Nakadai Tatsuya, every time he's on film, he always delivers a hell of a performance. And I think every single movie I've seen with Nakadai Tatsuya, both older and not necessarily newer, but just throughout all his filmography, he's been outstanding. And it's obvious that he's going to perform extremely well in this story. And you can tell the difference. There's a stark difference between when he portrays Takeda Shingen and when he portrays the Kagemusha, and especially when he portrays the Kagemusha trying to impersonate Takeda Shingen. You can really feel depths in Nakadai Tatsuya's performance. Another thing that comes hand to hand with Kurosawa movies, which is also prevalent here, is just the really tight cinematography, the excellent camera work, also the way everything is captured, where everything flows, everything is flawless. And I especially like a lot of the things that he did with lighting. There are a lot of vibrant colors, not only in the costume design and just the sets and just the world that's portrayed in the story, but also just for dramatic effect. For example, there are times when the Kagemusha and company are witnessing a battle and they're looking kind of over the hill. They're on the hill, they're looking down, and the point of view of the viewers are well behind where the Kagemusha and company are sitting down, but they're looking in the distance, and it's a battlefield going on there. You hear all the sounds, you hear all the cries of people fighting, but instead of seeing the actual action, you see a lot of different color lights, different flashing lights, and of course a lot of pyrotechnics to make it really feel like there's something going on. And there's something really unique about this kind of technique. It makes it feel like almost a stage play. I think a lot of performances, I'm thinking a lot of movies made by Kurosawa, they feel like really well crafted stage plays put to film. And something that was definitely in this movie, and rightfully so, is the tension that you feel whenever you feel like the Kagemusha could break or mess up and everyone's going to find out that Takeda Shingen is dead and is being impersonated by a stand-in. There are plenty of those times throughout the story, and rightfully so, the tension that happens whenever those scenes come up, it's real. When it comes to the negatives of Kagemusha, it's long. I mean, Kurosawa movies are generally long, especially epics like this, but it took me, I think I had to finish this movie across like maybe 3 sittings. It's a 3-hour long movie, and a lot of times it does tend to drag on just a little bit longer than what I would have preferred. But when you watch this movie, prepare to sit down for a long time, because, granted, it is an excellent movie from minute 1, but it is a long movie. And I think maybe at times it might be a bit difficult to keep track of all the characters, like who's who, if you're not paying attention. Well, you got to pay attention in these types of movies, of course. But yeah, I think at times it might be a bit difficult to track who's who. But I think those are probably the only negatives I have to say about Kagemusha. Overall, it's an excellent movie. I definitely recommend it to watch if you're a fan of Kurosawa's other works. And it does have its share of warfare, and there's scenes of war which uses thousands and thousands of extras, and it's as epic as you can expect from a Kurosawa movie. I think probably the most epic has got to be Ran when it comes to warfare. But this is still great nonetheless. I think this has all the types of tropes and all the types of things that that you would probably love in the Kurosawa movie in it. But like I say, it's not exactly, after watching, it's not exactly my absolute favorite Kurosawa movie. That's still Seven Samurai, and the other movies that are that top the list before Kagemusha comes in. But it's not a bad movie by any means. It's still an amazingly crafted movie. A lot of attention to detail, especially, I'm not sure how accurately it portrays these historical events and also these historical characters, but from what I understand, this is one of the, the more popular theories on how Takeda Shingen died. But of course, you have a lot of liberties taken because it is a movie. But yes, definitely check it out if you haven't so yet. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Kagemusha. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all the social media channels. And of course, as I said earlier, you can support this channel by checking out other videos featured here, and also, of course, subscribing. And thank you once again to Johnny Picaranta over at Patreon for requesting this movie for me to watch. I do apologize once again that it took this long to put out, and I promise to finish the rest of the requests that are waiting for me soon. And yes, thank you to all my patrons. Thank you for all of you for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.